The struggle we have for civil rights in this country, a struggle that is ongoing, is deeply related to the struggle for civil and human rights going on in Palestine. In August of 2014, Michael Brown was shot to death in the streets of Ferguson, Missouri. And that night, a community gathered to grieve and to pray. And they were met by police in military gear who shot tear gas canisters at them. And one of the people there picked up the tear gas canister and took a picture of it and tweeted it out. And someone in Palestine saw that picture and tweeted a picture in return of the same tear gas canister that had been shot at them by IDF forces. The same tear gas canisters are being shot at both sides, and it is so important to note the same people are profiting on both sides. And so we are calling not just for an end to violence, we are calling for an end to the oppression that sparks the violence. We are calling to respect basic human decency, to give each other the space to come together, to pray, to grieve, to celebrate, and to recognize that when we deny each other that human decency, we deny the humanity in ourselves.
As a black man in America, I understand what oppression is. As the husband of a South African woman, I understand what oppression is. As an African American Muslim, I understand what oppression is. In June 2017, 9 worshipers were killed in a safe space in Charleston, South Carolina. Is there a correlation there? Yes. The ideology of violence, solving a problem with violence.
The result of the ongoing, decades-long oppression, suppression, repression of Palestinians, both Palestinian citizens of Israel and especially the Palestinians in the West Bank who are not citizens of Israel and have no rights as civilians. It's time to start realizing that Palestinians have rights in Israel, Palestinians have rights in the West Bank, and it's time to move forward. It's time for the United States to get off the bench and become involved.
What was done to Native Americans in calling them Indian savages and wiping them out. What was done to black slaves, calling them animals and controlling them and treating them like animals. This is what's happening to Palestinians now. And we can't say if we only knew. We know. The question is if we can only act. So we are here together to stand for religious freedom, to stand for justice, to stand against occupation, to stand against what Human Rights Watch now is calling apartheid. And much like what happened with George Floyd, the government didn't react until the people forced the government to change. This is what's going to have to happen here. The governments are not going to act until the people force a change.